Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva, Gurudeva. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Kaliga Pavana Harinama Sankirtan ki. See, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would go for Harinam Sankirtan, in the morning, he would take a Prabhat ferry, early morning. So, many people would be peeping out of their houses to watch. So he would sing, Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari, Bole na bolo re vadana bori. What he says, all of you chant the names of Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, like that he would say. So some people would like to watch the devotees chanting and dancing, but they'll be shy also. You say Mukunda. They will say, Mukunda. They will say, Madhava, Madhava. So softly they will say. He would say, Vadana Bori means Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari. This is Vadana Bori. Vadana Bori means, Vadan is mouth, Bori means full. Full mouth. So I sang a Hare Krishna mantra now, you cannot sing softly. You have to use your full mouth to sing. Correct now? The pitch. So Prabhupada used to sing like this when he was singing in the park. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Yamuna Mataji caught it exactly. Also, our Vishnunjan Maharaj also. These two people Prabhupada appreciated. He said, these people exactly caught my, meter. And Prabhupada said, whenever you don't have my recording, you can play Mukunda, our Vishnujan Swami's recording. He said, he exactly would sing like Prabhupada, along with the beat also. Beat. So, last time we did this one. This is the last slide I showed you last time on the topic of integrity. How many of you were there last time? Yeah, you are all there. Most of you are there. Very good. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshugavannmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavate naisthiki. Krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So, one of you can read this, please. If a Brahmana, the qualification for taking leadership, this is directly from the purport of Prabhupada, 11741. Yeah, who has the mic with you?
Qualification for taking up leadership. If a brahmachari is not truthful,
No, not Brahmachari, Brahmana.
Sorry, if a brahmana is not truthful, all his claims as a brahmana at once becomes null and void. If a sannyasi is illicitly connected with women, all his claims as a sannyasi at once becomes false. If a king and public leader are unnecessarily proud or habituated to drink or smoke, he becomes disqualified. If a woman is not chaste, she can cause trouble to her family, to another man's family, and to society.
So, four people, Brahmana, Sannyasi, king or any public leader, and woman. So, each of them is known or famous for some particular quality. Like a Brahmana is famous for truthfulness. Even to an enemy, Prabhupada says a Brahmana will not hesitate to speak the truth. Like you all know, Drishtadyumna wanted to learn archery from Dronacharya. Dronacharya at that time knew that this fellow will learn from me and later on he is going to finish me the war. Still, he taught him without any hesitation. The Brahmanas were so transparent. Similarly, if a sannyasi is illicitly dealing with a woman, that can mar his reputation and nobody will want to listen to his good instructions. So how such a thing can happen? Because of sometimes undue sympathy. There was one Grihastha devotee who was speaking in Vrindavan Bhagavatam class. So he was telling that, the sannyasi is traveling in America from one city to another. Why can't he take this Mataji disciple in his car? Huh? I was telling. But sannyasi refused to take her. He said, you cannot travel with me together in the same car. You take a flight or something and come to the city directly. She said, I want to go to all the places where you are going. Huh? So wherever you are commuting, I can travel with you and attend your programs. He said, if you are a brahmachari, I can take you with me. Huh? Because you are in whose body now? A woman's body. Then we have to follow certain etiquettes. You can attend all my programs in America, but you have to travel by your own arrangements. I can't take you. So this Grihastha devotee was criticizing that sannyasi, saying that how he can be so hard-hearted. It is after all his disciple. She's like a daughter. Can't a father take a daughter with him in his car? He said. So he was using this example for hard-heartedness and not being compassionate. When I heard the lecture, I didn't see any mistake on the part of sannyasi. Correct, no? Because if the sannyasi took her in his car everywhere, people are likely to talk ill. And she's a good-looking lady, young lady, and he's taking her with him everywhere he goes. They will ask, why is she going always with you? Huh? And that too in the same car she is going. Why is he so intimate? So much blasphemy may happen. Huh? And needless to say, there are so many people waiting with blasphemous websites. Click, 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 they will put. There is one blasphemy website, one fellow, what he does, this Mataji is attending every program of this sannyasi. He puts sannyasis one circle around him and one circle around Mataji. Why she is there in every program? That itself is saying. What to speak of somebody going in the same car? Huh? So we should not do things which will increase suspicion. And Mataji also should be aware of this. One example I'll tell you. In one temple, there was one senior devotee, brahmachari, senior brahmachari. He got sick. He was staying, he was taking some treatment in the hospital. And the hospital had given him one ward, So there were two young brahmacharis posted at the door like Jai Vijay. They were standing there. They were very new brahmacharis, just 6 months old or something. So one congregation Mataji, who was also, she may be probably around 40, 38, 40 like that. This brahmachari may be also about 40, 42 or 45 like that. This Mataji was very fond of this senior devotees classes. She was trained by him from very early days and groomed by him. She always considers him like a father. So because he got sick, she made some khichdi for him. She took the khichdi to the hospital. She came to know Prabhuji is admitted in the hospital, he has fever and all. So her husband only brought her in the car. The husband said, okay, drop the khichdi box and come, he said. So she climbed up the staircase and went, and these two guys were standing. And she said, where is Prabhuji? I want to give this khichdi, Prabhuji. And they said, he is inside. So she went inside and kept it, and then Prabhuji was a little asleep. Hare Krishna, she said, and then Prabhuji got up. Oh, thank you, Mataji, he said, and he took it. And Mataji offered obeisance and pushed off. She went off. But these two fellows, they called a temple and they told the devotees, hey, kya chal raha malum hai? So she is coming and giving prasad and he is accepting. She didn't even wait 1 minute also. She just came, delivered, and she pushed off in their presence only. But these fellows cooked up something that it seems he is having some affair with her and things like that. And she is having, I think they both are connecting. And the matter went up to the temple president, up to GBC also it went. Then later on, this fellow was supposed to take sannyas. Sannyas paper was withheld because of this, because some kind of, connection is there. Later on, they saw that it is due to the neophyte behavior of this two fellows. They have cooked up a story they cooked up a story which never happened or existed. So in this particular episode which I told you, what I would say, the women also should know the sensitivity while dealing with renounced order. Sometimes the women feel very bad that why, brahmacharis and men and other people are getting association of guru. And while women, just because you are in their body, you can't get good association. They feel like that. But their eagerness for intimacy of renounced order people can cause sometimes misunderstandings if they are not careful. Like I had gone to one temple, they had arranged their girls' voice class in the temple. There were about 40, 50 girls were there. I said, hey, why did you arrange this? I said, no, no, Prabhu, they all watch your videos and everything. They said, we want an exclusive class and everything. Okay, put some 10 men in the front, I said. So they brought some 10 men. And those were looking at the watch, when will the class get over? Because the class is for the girls. And they were there. I said, all of you are my bodyguards. You know, if any girl comes near me, you have to stand on either side, protect me. I said, after the lecture was over, I was just packing my computer. Suddenly, I found all the girls all around here. And they said, I asked, why are they coming? What is it? Then they wanted a photo with you. He said, I have a photo with me. I'm brahmachari. It looked like Gopijana Vallabha. You have seen that? Krishna in the middle with all the here only. I said, the only person who can stand like this is Krishna only, not me. Please don't take any photo like that. I said, I told all of them, Matajis, you take photo with her. I told the teacher, you take photo. I can't take photo with them. I'm sorry. No, no, Prabhu, some sannyasis took. I said, sannyasis may take, they're very aged also, they may take. Gurus may take sometimes. I'm not fit for this. I said, class only I gave you because you all pushed me. So I'm saying we have to think about how the world also looks at us. Correct, no? Like any Mataji can write to me across the globe, mail to me, but there has to be one male member in CC, always. I strictly follow this policy. If they don't put male member, then I tell them, can I put my assistant's CC, assistant's email in CC, or you want to put your husband or, Shiksha Guru or somebody should be there. You should not send mails directly only to me. Because initially they may talk official things, but eventually people do open their hearts. They ask questions. I said, when you want to ask any questions about practice and in real life and all, there has to be somebody who is most confidentially guiding you, your senior mentor Mataji or your husband or somebody should be there. So this is called as rule of the three. Huh? All of us should follow this rule of the three. Three means one male, female should not interact privately. Whether it is in WhatsApp, whether it is in email, or whether it is personal meetings, something should be followed. So that is why this is not only for a sannyasi, it's for all of us actually. We should be careful. Third one, public leader. Um, like all of us get some opportunity for leadership, we have to be very careful not to become proud. It is as good as drinking or smoking. It's equivalent to that if you become very proud. Like, we all know very well, Gopi Jana, Gopi Bhartar Padakamalayur. We have spoken it, we know it, but there may be certain moments where we may speak strongly to people that, I cannot send you for initiation, you are not qualified, and things like that. We may speak to people and they may get hurt. So, or in a public forum, we should not take any names and criticize. In public forums, you can take anybody's name and glorify them. And in fact, they'll be more happy with you if you glorify in a public forum than privately calling and telling their glories. They will say, why you didn't tell in the class? You're telling me privately, they will say. But criticizing, that should never be done in a public forum. Chastise privately and glorify publicly. So, because if we criticize others, then it is a sign of false pride. We think I am great and others are smart. Like to think that I am better than other devotees. That's a sign of false pride. To think that I am the best devotee. That is even worse. To think I am the only devotee. That is worst. Isn't it? You see, I am better than others. I am the best devotee. I am the only devotee. That means he thinks whole world is full of non-devotees except me. It is just dramatically opposite to pure devotees consciousness, where pure devotees think everybody is a devotee except me. They feel just the opposite. Hmm. And if you are not so advanced like the pure devotee, at least somebody thinks, oh, he's the best devotee, she's the best devotee, he's the best. There are all so many wonderful devotees. I think I can learn so much from so many devotees. One thinks. So others are then one thinks that there are so many better devotees than me. I can learn from them. And that is a very good platform for growth in spiritual life. And then the last one about woman's chastity also. Actually, woman, many times what happens with woman, a woman may not be unchaste, but she may be innocently walking a path which can lead to complication for herself and for other men also. Bhagavatam very bluntly and openly puts it in the 10th canto, like there are two clouds and lightning may move from one cloud to another, like that. The cloud is compared to the man and the lightning is compared to woman. So, uh, this woman is connecting with one man, and then he was a big rich man before. He had a big business loss. He came crumbling down. He got into depression or something. And the woman feels, oh, I married a wrong man now. She goes to her parents, and nowadays many times they get divorced sometimes. And then she marries another man who is well-to-do and things like that. It has happened with some families like that. So when Anasuya was giving advice to Sita Mata, she was telling her whether the husband is prosperous, her husband is poverty stricken. Her husband is famous, her husband is insignificant, not well known. But once a woman marries a man, she serves him for life. And Sita said, oh, Mother Anusuya, the same instructions I heard from my mother first, and then later on from my mother-in-law also. Now this is the third time I'm hearing, I'm so fortunate. Your instructions are reinforcing my previously taught instructions. She says that. So that is considered the chastity, sticking to one's husband and rain or shine, like that. But sometimes what happens to the woman, she may be chaste to her husband, serving and all, everything very well. But sometimes she may be innocently and dealing with some other man and openly appreciate the man and things like that, due to which sometimes a disturbance is caused in a family. Husband may say that you always appreciate him so much, you never have one word you never told good about me. Because husband has the male ego. The male ego feels that, you should know my glories also. Don't talk about others' glories. So sometimes the Mataji's glorify some senior devotee or some another very good counselor. So actually, it's not that only men get affected. Both women, man, everybody has ego problems. But male has more of that. Like one Prabhuji went to a house and ate soft idlis and said, I have never eaten idlis like this in my life. Huh? And his wife was just behind him. She got wild. How can you tell them you never ate? How many times I have fed you idli? Huh? Was it never like this? He said, no, no, no. Today what we ate was like jasmine. Huh? It was so soft and fragrant. Huh? Then she said, that means you don't like the one which I make. Huh? He said, I never told you that, he said. She took a great offense. She said, next day morning, no breakfast today. Yeah. Go to Govindas. Huh? So, in the same manner, man can also commit mistake and woman can commit mistake. So one has to be careful. Actually, one shouldn't think that we are overly rigid about this. It's not that for service sake we don't talk. Huh? In ISKCON, for service sake, definitely we have to talk to women because women are doing a lot of service in our society. Huh? They are the ones who are making garlands, they're stitching the dresses, making jewelry, cooking for the deities, boga, and preaching to girls, preaching to children, preaching to congregations. There are ladies who are distributing dozens of Bhagavatam sets, many Bhagavatam sets. And they are also, many of them are household ladies, homemakers. So they are also able to come to temple, and some of them are even attending Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta and all, women. And they've gone ahead of men, many of them. Huh? In Pune, there is a Mataji, Pavitra Manjana Mataji. She has 200 people, 180 people under her. Huh? She's cultivating so many families very, very powerfully. Both husband and wife are initiated, but she is more powerful. There are some people like that. Hmm? So we cannot take Matajis lightly. They are very powerful and they are highly contributing also. And the bottom line is respect. That's all. Huh? Deal with women with respect. If you have respect, then whatever you speak and exchanges you have with them will come out well. Otherwise, not. One example I'll tell you. You know, I don't want to mention the name. There is one Mataji, internationally very famous, a proper disciple. And she was actually leading the ladies, especially the ladies with grievances. She was the one who is like a lion in the front. Come with me, I will solve your problems. So discussing with GBCs and all that. So she had come to Chowpatty temple. And then Maharaj, Parabhudranath Maharaj finished his class. He gave the class. And then he saw her sitting down. And immediately Maharaj told the devotees, hey, so and so has come, that Mataji has come. Give her a chair. She's proper disciple, he said. Immediately they gave her a chair. The chair was right next to her. She didn't sit in the chair. She continued to sit with everybody in this thing only. And then Mataji, Maharaj took her name and said, Mataji, please come here. The next to the Vyasa's son, already with Maharaj, 2, 3 were sitting. And then Maharaj said, give her another chair separately because there men are sitting. Give her one chair. She can also sit and she can address. Or give her a chair there only. From there she can address all of us. Would you like to speak a few minutes? She didn't say. She said, no, no, Maharaj, thank you, thank you. So we have invited her to Pune to give terrific Bhagavatam class she can give. When she speaks, very learned. But that she didn't speak anything. She just smiled and said, thank you, Maharaj. No, no thanks, like that she said. So next day, there was one saffron ceremony in the Brahmacharya ashram next day. So Maharaj was telling in the Brahmacharya, as a part of the saffron ceremony, he spoke one thing, how the Brahmachari should deal with women. So he was teaching us. So he said the Brahmachari should always deal with women with great respect, like treating their own mother, he said. And then he said, if you respect them like that, look at her. She is the leader of many, many women in the world. She is leading a movement to protect the women in ISKCON. But I gave her a seat, she didn't take. I told her to speak, she didn't speak. How submissive she is. But some leaders think that she is very, very pushy and very forceful. How she behaved. And he asked all of us, why did she behave like that? And then he said, because I gave her respect. And then he said, if you don't give them respect and mistreat them, then they will become like Bhadrakali. And you have seen Bhadrakali with the tongue outside? You have seen that? Huh? Then, and then he was telling many families, men have mistreated their wives, and then they will show another form, Rudra Tandav. Oh, Shiva does Rudra Tandav, she does Kali Tandav, isn't it? So by not protecting women, by not respecting women, not giving them their place, like you see, we say Nandotsav, correct, no? Who is the leader in Nandotsav? Nandamar is leading the festival, correct? No. Then what about Utthan festival when all the Krishna was kept under the shakat, kept on the shakat? Who was leading that festival? Yashoda. Hmm? That means there are festivals where women take lead. There are festivals where men take lead. In Vedic times, in the Utthan, if you see, all the men go to background and women take lead. And then she's inviting all her friends because it's the third month the child is turning like this from the uh, upside down. You can turn. The child starts turning. So Krishna did that, and then they celebrated. So in the same manner, you will see when Upananda found that many demons are coming. The last demon they were afraid about was the breaking of the two trees, and that so they didn't see the demon, but they thought it is a big demon. Then they had a meeting, and the meeting they decided to move from Nandagokulam to Vrindavan. Now Nandagokulam to Vrindavan. They're planning to move. The front there were men with bow and arrows. Backside there were men with bow and arrows. In the middle there were bullock carts. And who was sitting? Like all the women with their children. Huh? And also old men also. Old men, old women. So they had practically sandwiched the children, women, old people in the middle by being on either side. So this is the same thing Paramahansa Raghunath Maharaj told us to do in one yatra. He said all the men should go in the front and children, women, old people should be in the middle. And again, men should be in the behind. When it became very dark in Ekachakra, I think, when we had to board the buses. They told that there are a lot of thieves and highway robbers and all that. They may be chain snatchers and everything and all. So then Maharaj told the managers, we should see that these people are taken in a very protected manner, he said. So it was almost 6:37 getting dark that time, he said. Which means not only Shastras are meant for studying, but they're also meant for applying also. So in this way, why a woman sometimes may appear to be unchaste, because the man doesn't protect her, then she goes to different men for help. Like husband doesn't give enough money to run the home, then she goes to other men for asking for wealth. Or she there is a unpleasant situation at home, then she goes to reveal her mind to some other man, which is not a very good thing. So whether it is from mistakes from woman's side or men's side, one should be very careful. So these four things Prabhupada says there. Please read further. The four leaders.
The four leaders of human society, sannyasis, brahmana, the king, and public leader or counselor, must be tested crucially by their character and qualifications. Such public leaders may be less qualified in academic qualification, but it is necessary primarily that they may be free, from the contamination of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter.
Like this, Prabhupada writes in the same purport, same sloka purport, he says this. So one striking thing you will see here, Prabhupada says, what is the first qualification that a leader requires? Character, not his competence. Like for example, somebody may be a very skilled manager. He may be a very skilled organizer. Somebody may be a very good talker, pleasing talker. Somebody is very charismatic, impressive personality. But the only problem is there is some hole in his character. Is it good to post them? Very risky. Tomorrow they can. So what are the possible holes in one's character? One is mishandling money, looting money, or misbehaving with women, or abusing children. Some people are child molesters, abusing children or somebody like that, or homosexual problem, or hetero or homo or whatever like that. Or they may be very smart in all these things, but they have a very, very bad habit of bad mouthing about other Vaishnavas. And because they are influential personalities, they can damage a lot of people by their behavior. Bad mouthing, people like that. Sweet talking on face and bad mouthing on back. These are all character holes. Very risky to appoint them in the top. They may spread poison. So one has to be very careful. And especially following the four regulative principles. If we find that they are compromising on regulative principles, then if they take lead, it can be very risky for all those under them. That's a point. All of you repeat this. Yad dadacharate sreshthas sattadeve taro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. Translation. Yeah. Who is the mic?
Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues.
Yeah. Say, for example, when a leader tells people that it's all right to eat outside. See, we are not brahmacharis or sannyasis. We are grihasthas, we should be practical. If he speaks like that in his meeting, then everybody gets a green signal that you can eat in hotels. Just you have to chant one Hare Krishna mantra, that's all. And you can eat. But if they see that the leader says, oh, you cannot eat anything anywhere unless it's properly cooked by a devotee. One example I'll tell you, one is one Jayapadaka Maharaj example from Gulf came. He used to write to me mails and all. I would reply his questions and everything. So he came to Pune and gave me invitation for the marriage of his daughter in South India somewhere. So he was telling me that, Prabhu, in such and such place, my daughter's marriage is going to happen. The boy's family, they are not devotees. So I thought you may be having some acquaintance that can somebody give us prasad. He said, but I said, Prabhu, you are Sambandhi. You are actually girl's father. So, oh, sorry, he was not girl's father, he was boy's father. The girl's family, the girl was a devotee, but the girl's family was not devotees. And he was boy's father, and the boy is also devotee, and the boy's father is devotee. But then the girl's family wants to arrange a Brahmana caterer, correct, no? Who was cooking. So this person speaks Tamil, so he was talking to me in Tamil. So the marriage day, he called me and said, Prabhu, the fellows, I went to the kitchen and saw the so-called Brahmana caterers. Their sacred thread was totally new, fresh. It was like lightning color. So nice it was. But then when I looked at them, I saw they had little mustache and little beard. Then I found out these are sweepers. They are not even Brahmins. They are just wearing. Uh, One of them was sweeper, another one was Brahman, but he never does Brahminical activity. He also drinks, smokes, and all other times. Whenever they have to cook for this kind of programs, and that time they wear it. Other times they remove it and keep it in the nail, in the wall. It's only for practical purposes when they go for such occasions. So he said, Prabhu, Sambandhis are telling me to eat in the marriage. Brahmana only has cooked, he can eat. But when I figured out and told them, they also said, I'm sorry. Then I said, then what did you do? He said, 3 days I went to an initiated devotee from Gulf who is living in that city. In their house only we ate. He said, two times we ate. We didn't eat anywhere else. He said, can you imagine? He's a in the marriage, many of you may say that, Prabhuji, marriage is a rare occasion. We should not have tussle with sambandhis and all. But the other Sambandhi people, they respected his ideals. They said, okay, if that is your standard, we don't know what is the standard, but if that's what you want to follow, you can follow. They allowed them. So now imagine his counselees or, BB members in his group, how they'll behave. Because this example becomes a very shining example, correct, no? If one can be so strict about it. I don't say you all have to do it. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, there are people who set a very high standard like that. If we are not of that standard, at least we should not go to the other side, which is saying that, anywhere we can eat. That is the other end of the pendulum, correct? No? In the same manner, whatever trend we set, people are going to. For example, when they see all of you come for some Bhagavatam class, yesterday morning is Grace Vedanta Chaturthi gave a beautiful class. Today morning is Grace Radheshyam gave a beautiful class. So I was telling our managers that there should be some kind of announcement made, especially when this kind of very senior people give classes, all congregations should come to know, so that they can mark the date and then they can try to make an effort to attend. You see, Madhav Gopinath used to come from all the way from Singapore city to attend some of the selected Bhagavatam classes. He would attend like that. And for him to come and go 1.5 hours like that. So you may have your favorite speakers. Say when they are speaking, you may attend if you wish. I like so and so. You want to attend. But on an average in Pune, we tell all the congregations that at least one morning in a week, coming for the morning program, attending, dancing with devotees, attending the. Generally, if a husband comes for Mangala Arati, and then he goes after Shringar Darshan. Then wife comes for Shringar Darshan and Guru Puja, and then she will attend the Bhagavatam class and go. Next week, they will swap it. Wife will come for the Mangalarti and up to Sringadarsan, she will go back to home, take care of children, and husband will come at Sringadarsan and stay for the Bhagavatam class. They do alternate weeks, they do like that. So that means they get 2 classes in a month, Bhagavatam. Both of them get. And 2 Mangalaretis they get. So I'm talking about families with small children, budding children. Even they do that. What to speak of those who are with grown-up sons and daughters, or those who don't have children. If they, where there is a will, Krishna shows the way. Correct, na? Dadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna says. If you have the desire to execute it, then Krishna will give you ways and means to do that. Again, the point, you can tell people, yesterday I was in the temple, I heard one lecture, so-and-so Prabhu said, then immediately it gives an indication to people. That means this leader is going to temple. So it will be good. If we can also go, they will think. So most of the things that you want your people to do, the easiest way for you to make them do is do it yourself. That's what this verse says. You set a good example. Like our Madan Kumar Prabhu, he arranges Harinam Sankirtan every week, I heard. I asked how many people come, and sometimes very scanty number. Sometimes 6 or 7 people. He gets help from different people and comes. So when I did one survey of all the existing BV leaders and teachers, I asked them to fill up a form. Many of you filled up and sent me, correct? No? I gathered them all in one folder. I went through them and I added my inputs to all of you. And I sent you and told you if you have any queries, you can ask me. Some of you wrote back to me asking further queries. I replied back also to you. So my request to you is to keep that sheet safe with you. Time to time, revisit it. Revisit and see, whether some of the things that I suggested you, like for example, hearing Prabhupada lecture 20 minutes or something like that, correct? No? If not possible, at least once in a month participating in some Harinam somewhere like Antmar Prabhu, distributing Prabhupada books, some things I said like that. So the purpose of that activity was that you do something wonderful and that you can boldly tell your people that they should also make an effort to do that. We can't force anybody in this world. You can only request them. To set an example. Like, our Vishwakirta Prabhu goes every morning. I go with him whenever I'm here, I go with him for the Harinam Sankirtan. Initially, I thought if I go, all the brahmacharis will come. And they came also. Almost 5, 6 saffron devotees were coming whenever I went, with them. Slowly, I thought numbers, they pulled out. Except me, other fellows were not coming at all. Except maybe 1 or 2, I think. So they said, oh, Prabhu, the rounds remain in the morning and then it goes till evening and everything. I said, you wake up early in the morning, chant 4 rounds and then try to go for this. You are living in the temple, you come. So then they felt, oh, Prabhu, it's a very high standard. Every day we can't go. Then I said, in Pune also I made it 2 mornings they go for Harinam, brahmacharis. Because they're brahmacharis, they're supposed to be more committed. Grihasthas, at least once in a month, if they go for Harinam, it's very nice, at least. Brahmacharis, at least, so 2 mornings, half an hour, in Pune, all the brahmacharis go like that. Why I made a policy now? If we leave it to them, they don't follow. Then made a policy. Similarly, if you're giving Bhagavatam class in temple, you should at least be visibly seen to be hearing Bhagavatam from somebody. If somebody has no habit of coming and hearing Bhagavatam, they exactly come on the day when you tell them to give Bhagavatam, they just come and sit in Vyasas and deliver the lecture and go and never be seen any other time. Is it good? No. So in Pune, recently we made a policy that every person who gives Bhagavatam at least once in a month, once in 2 weeks, they should come and hear. One preacher was very upset. Why this new policy? He said, yes, for you only we made the policy. And other people are following. You are not following. They said, okay, now I understand. Now he understood that. Otherwise, if we tell you directly, you become angry. Therefore, we made a policy. That also makes you angry. Then you know it now. Know it yourself. So, in this way, we all have to set an example in terms of sadhana, in terms of sadachar, in terms of seva. His Grace Narasimha Prabhu and his team was so much appreciated in the recent HTMC and GM meeting. They were saying that in his group, the sevaks, when they come to kitchen, who glorified? Satyavrat Madhavu glorified. After that, others also glorified. So he was telling that his team is a very trustworthy team, he said. Even though Prabhuji is very old, if they come, they remain till the end, they do the work properly. He said he needs about 65 people for the kitchen on Sundays. And including transfer and serving and washing pot, everything together, about 105, I think, he was telling. And then right. So in this way, different devotees maybe. And the most important thing is the example is more powerful than precept. It is said in English. Precept means speaking. Example is more ideal. Huh? So one of the most challenging things for growing devotees like all of us is to not blaspheme the other devotees, not blaspheme the management, not blaspheme the devotees, but approach through forums in a civilized way to solve the problem. Hmm. Like, for example, if any of you leaders, in a public assembly of some younger devotees are there, and this hey, mandir mein HTM sai. In this temple, Prabhuji, nothing gets done. It's all red tape. You tell them, and 3 months nothing has happened. The temple management useless. Like that, if somebody says like that, then immediately such kinds of words gets around in your group. And then people form perceptions. Temple is bad, it's good for nothing, nobody is taking any action, and it is useless temple, don't go to temple. Suddenly you'll find there'll be a drop in the attendance. And why it happened? Because you spoke like that, therefore it happened. It can happen like that. Then what is the better way to handle this? Okay, whatever grievances you have, you write it down, send it to the HTMCs or your core committee, whatever. Certain things may not be immediately implemented. It may take 1 week time, but you need to have patience. Yeah. But many times we blurt out with the mouth, not knowing the impact it has on the other people. And that becomes a blasphemy. Tomorrow, word may get around and your good reputation will be spoiled also. People will say that this fellow is a loose mouth and he's a loose talker. They can't trust you for some major surveys. They may say that, especially what happens. One example I tell you, real example I tell you in Pune. One counselor came and told me that he saw, after the yatra was over, we were all coming in a train. He saw one husband, wife, and son and daughter. They were sitting in a railway station in the table in a restaurant. It was half an hour stopped, the train stopped. He sat and they were eating bhaji, he was selling. So, and I asked, are they initiated? Oh, they're second initiated, they're Brahmins. They said they're Brahmin devotees, both husband, wife. They're eating bhaji, Prabhu, and that in the restaurant they were eating, I was shocked, Prabhu. I felt so sorry. क्या हो गया पूरा मंदिर का? इतना पूरा मंदिर का बुरा हाल हो गया. And this fellow has told already 3 dozen people. He has told Pune Mandir ka standards of utar gaya and things like that. He was telling. Then what I did, I didn't call the devotee directly. I called his counselor and said, Prabhuji, this has happened with your counseling. You should talk to him. He said, no, Prabhuji, impossible. How it can happen? So I'll check out. They are very good people, very serious devotees. He was telling they cannot do such things. I have not heard. Then what happened? This first person, he has spoken so much in this group also. This counselors group, people also heard. And all the people started asking him, Bhaji ka hai kya? Bhaji ka hotel mein? They asked, did he eat bhaji? Sorry, Prabhuji, we heard the news and he was already crying. Already was crying. Then before the counselor approached him, his phone call came to me. Who? This candidate. He said, Radheshyam Prabhu, who told you that I ate bhaji with my family members in that restaurant? Who told you? I said, did your counselor discuss this? No, not yet. He said, before counselor reached him, this fellow's rumor mongering, that reached multiple people speaking went to his ears. Then I said, Prabhuji, please wait a minute, your counselor will talk to you. Then his counselor talked to him. Then he revealed to counselor. What did he reveal? He said they had cooked bhaji and carried for the yatra. And that's what they ate. But instead of eating in the train, they thought, let us eat in the fresh air. They sat in that restaurant, table was there. His wife was serving from the dabba only, she was serving, they ate. And they didn't eat anything from the restaurant. It was all prasad. Oh, we are second initiate devotees, we don't eat anything outside. It was offered food. Then I called this fellow. Then I called and told, hey, you have told Pune temple standard has gone down? He said, oh, Prabhuji, who told you? A dozen people are telling already. Then he said, no, Prabhuji, I would not have told for more than dozen. He said, no, already 3 dozen people know it. He said, sorry, Prabhuji, I think they have further propagated it. Because these things go like fire, no? Karane, Karane, Ajapan Janaha. Bhagavatam says, no? When this fellow Satrajit passed a rumor, what he said? Prayaha Krishnena Nihato, he said. Maybe Krishna Manigrivo Vanam Gataha. Krishna took killed my brother and took away the. Maybe, he only said, Prayaha only he said. But Karane, Karane, Ajapanjana. In Dwaraka, it went from 1 year to another year. Therefore, Krishna had to prove his statement to be wrong. Just see. So, my humble request to all of you, any kind of deficiency you find in the temple management, don't assume things on your own. What is happening? One devotee, I don't want to mention the name, in our congregation, when he was talking to me, so he was thinking of using money for some other purpose somewhere. So I said, Prabhu, are you regularly giving donations? I asked. He said, Prabhu, our temple has, I heard, more than 12 crores in the bank account. He said, what? You are in which world? You don't know anything. Then I told Radheshyam Prabhu and our Sivas Asbir Prabhu, I think our congregation should be made aware of how much money is coming in and how much money is being spent. They are going to do that very soon. You will see the balance sheet and everything. You will see that. Currently, whatever is coming hand to mouth, they are exactly spending. But why I am saying this? This is a big leader. He has a lot of counsel, mentees also. If big leaders speak anything that comes to mouth, it just goes around. It's not proper behavior. So that's why he's saying that we have to set an example. It's very difficult actually to set a very good example because we are also conditioned souls. We have not yet become pure devotees yet. At the same time, we have many followers also. So it's a big struggle. Therefore, it is said between preaching and behavior, there's a dynamic tension. Which is easy? Preaching is easy or behavior is easy? Preaching is very easy. Behavior is very difficult. So this tension is this, easy to say many things, but difficult to follow. But that struggle to follow will make us grow. Okay, how do we cultivate integrity? Please. Yeah, in these examples, read that. Yeah, one of you has the mic with you.
Align values and behavior, sticking to word even in danger, predictable behavior.
One example I'll tell you for this.
Bali Maharaj.
One example I'll tell you. No, these are two separate points. First point is sticking to word even in danger. Like, when we were in Vrindavan, Yatra, last day we were supposed to come and one saffron devotee told one white brahmachari devotee that find out a caterer and then fix prasad for 80 brahmacharis, he said. So this devotee found out the catering fellow was selling 120 rupees per plate he was selling. So this fellow booked for 80 brahmacharis. He was a devotee caterer, he said. So they booked in those days, many years ago. Then they found from Vrindavan temple that one plate prasad, if you want to pack for journey, it's only 80 rupees or something, So then this devotee told the senior that, Prabhu, here they are saying it's only 80. Sir. Then this brahmachari said, okay, go ahead with this. Go ahead with 80. So this devotee went ahead with 80. But already he had ordered for 120 wala catering. So I told him. So here he went ahead with 80 now, but he didn't cancel it. So the last day, the train, Mathura train, and when all the devotees were in the train, they were all getting their 80 rupee plates from the temple one they were getting. At that time, that fellow called, the caterer called this white brahmachari and asked, Prabhuji, मैं लाया हूँ, किधर लाना है? Bogie number क्या है? He was asking. He was shocked, what? Bogie number? What? He said, I have brought that lunch. You ordered me now for 80 fellows. This fellow immediately cut the phone. He understood the mistake. As soon as he understood the mistake, and that fellow is repeatedly calling. This fellow switched off the mobile. And that fellow repeatedly was trying to reach. He couldn't reach. Then he started going from the front bogie, second bogie. He could not find immediately because it's a very long train also. Then what he did, when the train started moving, and he called Pune temple. He came to know that they are from Pune. He called Pune and asked what is President's number. They said President Radheshyamdas is its number. My number is available in this thing, Vrindadevi Information Center. Anybody can take it. So he called me and told me the whole story. They told me to bring, I brought it, and these fellows didn't give me money, for 80 plates of prasad. Now train also is left now. अभी मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? I said, wait a minute, I'll find out. Then I called the Safran devotee, senior devotee. And I told him, and then he asked the junior devotee, then the whole matter became clear to me, what the matter is. Then I told these guys, see, you didn't cancel, you ordered it, then you have to make somebody else take that order, correct now? Give him a substitute. If you don't want, give him a substitute. Maybe 3-4 groups may take or whatever, But if you don't arrange for, then these two guys were telling me that, but what can you do, Prabhuji? Last minute we are all living in the same train. How can we arrange a substitute? So we thought better cut the phone. Huh? Then I said, Nuksan kisko hai? It's for the poor fellow. Yeah. I asked, he is mistaken or you are mistaken? It's a mistake to hamara, Prabhuji. Fir bhi, we thought we have to save lots money. Paisa ko waste nahi karna chahiye. Unnecessarily pay. Here also 80 rupees, there also 120. How can we pay 2? Solution mila nahi, chhod diya humne. I said, this is not proper. Huh? It's a very, very improper behavior. Then I called that fellow back and said, okay, where are you now? I asked. He said, I am in station. I said, distribute as many plates as possible. I said, huh? And then whatever is remaining, it's not going to sell at all. No? I'll pay you for that. I said. Then he started distributing few. He had almost 80 plates. No, he could distribute 10, 20 like that. He could distribute. In the meanwhile, he was caught by the railway police people. They said, you cannot do this business here. You are not a vendor. Only vendor, you need this thing. Then I told him, okay, come out of the station, try to sell outside. Outside people are not buying from somebody who is selling like this. Difficult for him. Then I asked him, do you have any idea? He said, I know one hotel, I will try that. Then he went there, tried to sell a few. Anyway, he could not do full justice in selling quite a bit of it. And I calculated the loss. Whatever was the loss. And I told him, don't worry, definitely you will get money for this. Whatever losses you are experiencing, you will get it. Huh? 1 penny you don't have to put from your pocket, don't worry, I told him. And then we send the money to him afterwards. Why I am saying this, here is an example of sticking to word even in. So here, what is the danger? Anybody can say, what is the danger in this situation? I told you. Losing money. Huh? For the sake of your money, many people are ready to speak lies. What kind of leader are you will be checked. So, especially the more you go to higher and higher position in our Krishna conscious movement, more and more integrity will be expected. I told these fellows, 2 fellows, you can't be brahmachari. If you're brahmachari, you can't be speaking lies like this. What kind of sadhus are you? Today you're speaking lies, tomorrow you can speak any kind of thing. They say, no, probably you are not aware what to do. If you're not aware, ask me. You could have asked me, there are 2 situations. Here also we have ordered, here also ordered, what to do. I would have given you an alternative. You never told me. It's coming through someone else, it's coming. That makes your situation so bad. So, anybody else can give an example for this, sticking to word even in danger. Like, for example, Vasudev giving 6 children one after another. He has given a word to Kamsa, kept the word very painful, but he was willing to stick. Yeah. Similarly, we have promised to somebody something, we can't go back. Like one time I told in Pune, anybody distributes 5 Bhagavatam sets, you will get 1 Bhagavatam set as a gift. I announced it to all the youth preachers and youth leaders and all. Later on, one devotee came and told me, Prabhu, at last I have finished 5 sets of Bhagavatam I have sold. In those days, selling was very difficult. Now it has become much easier now. So I said, very good, very nice. Then he showed me the names. These are the people who are going to buy it. I'm giving them, Prabhuji, I wanted to give you this good news. I said, oh, thank you for the good news. Prabhupada will be very pleased. I said, he said, yes, Prabhuji, that is already understood. Prabhupada will be very pleased. At the same time, I thought I'll just remind you about this. I totally forgot, although I had made that statement. And then later on, he went to another younger devotee in youth preaching, and he told that, Radheshyam Prabhu told in one of the lectures that anybody who distributes 5 sets, he will get 1 set free. Therefore, I went for distribution because I want 1 set. But now I went and told him, he is just patting on my back and sending me away. What to do? So then that devotee came and told me this. Then I felt very ashamed. I said, oh, sorry. I think the other day in the stage, I just made a statement like that. In those days, I thought nobody can distribute by 5. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Many reached 3, 5 was a big number. Then I told, get one Bhagavatam set. We nicely packed it with colorful cover. We put his name and everything, along with a big packet of cake, along with that. So when he came to stage, I gave the Bhagavatam and I said, this Bhagavatam is what I promised you. This cake is for the mistake I committed. So this big cake. I gave him both. So we have to stick to the word even, which means, you will see that we make a promise, we have to keep it. We can't afford to forget it. Many people have the problem of forgetfulness. So mine was not deliberate forgetfulness. It was innocent mistake. Nevertheless, fortunately, I could figure out and then act accordingly. On the other hand, I'll tell you, one temple president told that uh, whichever people, the first 3 ranks, those who bring in book marathon, and if they exceed, if they make this year book marathon cross, 10,000 books, we will send you to Bhaktivedanta Manor, London. He said, first prize will go to London, second prize we will give you a flight ticket to Mayapur, and then third one we will give a flight ticket to Vrindavan, something like that he said. So many people distributed and they crossed 10,000 also. They crossed 10,200, they came. So all the first 3 guys came running to him. So and that fellow said, Prabhu, I always wanted to see George Harrison's building, bungalow, Bhaktivedanta Manor. This fellow laughed and said, I was just to inspire you guys, I told you all. What are you talking? Going to London, how costly it is. Prasad kavo, chup raho, I said. So they got very offended. Why they got offended? Any of you can say? What made them feel very offended by this? Huh? He didn't stick to his words. That's one reason. Another reason? No, you made them fools. Actually, if you told them, Prabhu, it's a very costly thing going to Bhaktivedanta Manor. Right now, I don't have so much money, although I promised you. Wait for some years. We will keep that in mind. We will send you. That will be very polite on his part to say that. But he's making fools out of them. Next time, nobody will do anything. So, sticking to word, yeah. And the second one is predictable behavior. Oh, people with integrity, you can close your eyes and say how they will behave in any situation. Duryodhana was so confident of Yudhishthira Maharaja's behavior when Draupadi was not coming, when Pratikamin went and called her. Pratikamin is the servant. When he went and called her, he said, Pratikamin was a very tender-hearted personality. He went to Draupadi and he was weeping actually when he saw her. Draupadi asked, hey, why are you crying? He said, the king's son has called for you in the court, he said. She said, what? He said, Duryodhana has called you. Who is he to call me? She asked. And then he said, oh, your 5 husbands have lost everything. Finally, used to put you as a stake. And therefore, he lost you also. And therefore, the king's son, Duryodhana, is calling you now, he said. And then she understood, oh, it's like that. Then she said, a wife is never a property of any man other than her own husband. Unless my husbands call me, only then I will come. Or let the Kuru elders call me, like Bhishma Pitama or Dronacharya. What did they say? Did you ask? He said, I didn't ask. Go and find out. I will not come. So now when he went, at that time, he told Duryodhana what happened. So then Duryodhana told Yudhishthir, yeah, Yudhishthir, call your wife. Why is she not ready to come? Then he went and told her, your husband Yudhishthir, he called you to come here. She said, how can he call me to a public assembly to be humiliated by anybody? He has already lost me. No man can keep his wife on stake like this. He has lost me. How can he call me? She was not very happy about that. And she was not willing to go. Then when Patikamin actually cried to Duryodhan, Duryodhan said, hey, this is a fool. he is not fit person to go and call. Dushasana, you go and drag her to the assembly. And then Dushasana went and caught her by the hair and brought her. You can see that. Now here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is a person who can digest the poison pills very easily because he's a man of very high integrity. Huh? Such integrity the world might have never seen. Huh? Like you see the Gandharvas, held Duryodhana and company as captive, correct, no? At that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, we are 5 and they are 100, but when there is a family trouble, we are 105, 105. Go and help. He is a person, unimaginable integrity he has. Huh? Therefore, he was most trusted. Even people like Bhima, he could keep them under control because of his integrity. Actually, the more you are a leader of integrity, you can keep very, very big people under control also. Huh? And the lesser your integrity, you cannot keep even small people under your control. Even they will slip out. But big Maharajas, sannyasis and all, sometimes the two big disciples have a fight. Sometimes it can happen. And they can control both of them because when he says, they will remain controlled. That is because of this kind of integrity only. So, their predictable behavior. Like there was one fellow in Pune. This fellow, he is a little naive person. Naive, the word naive, Naive. Naive means what? Huh? Innocent, yeah. Bola bala. Bola bala, yeah. So this bola bala person, very simple boy, not very smart in doing anything. But he was very fond of making a movie for Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to do. He came to me and I said, hey, no. You better go and assist His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, who is in Ujjain. Maharaj already has made a Abhay Charan movie. You can go and request Maharaj to make a Chaitanya movie and you tell him that you can work as his right hand, you can help him and all. He went to Ujjain and came back. Still, he had a desire that he wanted to be director of making the movie. He did some BA, BCom, he works in some small job, but he had the desire. So one day what happened, one movie director came, Crorepati, very big movie director. So he came to meet me. Radheshyam ji, aap hai na president? He said, yes. He said, Radheshyam ji, aapke baare mein bahut suna ho. I have heard from many people about your this thing and all. But I have come to ask you one thing. He said, one of your boys, he wants to be a movie director and he wants some money for the movie. He is asking like 1 CR. He's asking. I told him that yes, I can give for the movie. If it becomes successful, profits will come. I can take profit. He can also get profit. But Radheshyamji should give approval. He told him. So therefore, I have come to you. You just give me one approval. Even verbal will do. He said. You just tell me to give him 1 CR. I can give him. He can make the movie. I told him. I am telling you, don't give him. I told him. He's a naive person. He is not a director and all. He just wants to be director. Some people, they don't have the skill, but they want to do that. You have seen that? Like somebody cannot sing properly. He takes the mic and starts singing. One fellow was singing like that. Hey, who is that fellow who is screaming? I think he's very hungry. Please give him some prasad. But this fellow always want the mic. Sometimes unqualified people want to do something. So later on, I called this fellow and said, hey, you are asking 1 CR from him, taking my name as a guarantor. Thank God he came to me for asking for guarantee. Directly, if he gave you, it would have led to big problem. So now why that fellow is coming to me? Because he knows this fellow is a stable fellow. He's a president here. He's here for many, many years. So he's not going to run away anywhere. So he wants somebody trustworthy, correct or not? So that is predictable thing. People want reliability and predictability in our behavior. Reliability and predictability. So they will check whether we are reliable in different situations. This is about. Here the example of this Shukracharya trying to meddle with the situation and say that, don't promise him 3. You only, now you can tell him that you are not going to give 3 steps of land. Because Shukracharya became worried about his own remuneration. If this fellow loses everything, what will happen to a monthly package? He was worried. But Bali Maharaj, Tushnim, it is said, he became silent, thought for a few moments, should I follow him or should I follow the Lord? Then he said, everything belongs to Lord. And Lord deserves to be loved and worshipped by all living entities. How is he telling me not to give him? Lord gave me all this and he wants to take it back. Let him take it back. So he understood that his instructions are erratic. Who? Children. So he didn't follow. So he is sticking toward even in danger. Yeah. Read the next one, yeah? Impeccable.
Aligned values and behavior, impeccable character, Haridas Thakur and Maya's allurement, right motivation in action, Krishna's peace mission.
Yeah. So, impeccable character. Here, Haridas Thakur is dealing with women. Character is what you are when no one is around you, it is said. Now, here is young Haridas, and she is also young, and she's telling him, oh, young Haridas, you are so handsome, and oh, great Thakur. She says, let's go and enjoy. But he is not even considering the prospect also. He is, of course, he's getting higher taste from the chanting of the holy name. And he preserved his purity of his character, so much so that he converted her to become a great devotee by dint of his pure character. So, one thing is very important. The people who are dharmic and people who are spiritual, they should take an upper hand in saving the others from tempting environments and allurements. One example I'll tell you. There was one place called Kampil. In this place, one very effulgent and tall and attractive looking Brahmana arrived with curly locks of hair, very beautiful, handsome looking. And he was playing one instrument, which was making a sweet sound. So all the ladies came out of their homes and they saw him and they started following him, hearing the sweet music. And the husbands went and reported to the king that our wives are supposed to be like Grihalakshmi, staying at home and taking care of the household. But now they have become unchaste by leaving us and going behind this handsome musician who is making some Brahmana who is a musician is going. So the king became very angry. He said, arrest this Brahman musician, bring him to me, he said. So that time this woman told told the king that please don't arrest him. He should not be blamed because he didn't call us. We were attracted to him and we went. If you have to arrest somebody, you have to arrest us, they said. But by the time the ladies had reached the palace and the Brahman also reached, when in everyone's presence the Brahman spoke. What he spoke is the most important thing. He said, oh, mothers, the Shastras entail that a woman who is married to a man, for her husband is like God. And she should never become charmed by anyone else. And also he said, if you become charmed by someone else, in a future lifetime, you will become a Rakshasi. One becomes a man-eating or blood-drinking Rakshasi. One becomes like that. And because of that unchastity. And he said that this body is simply made of flesh and bone and soul and all these abominable things. It's a perishable commodity. And the spirit soul is same in all the bodies. Similar type of spirit soul is there in every body. One should not be fascinated by the external handsomeness or by one's skill and everything. So he preached to them. And then he told them, warned them about the danger of walking the path of sin. Quickly, all the women, they came to their senses and they bowed down to him like a guru. And they said sorry to him and told sorry to king and said, we have come to our knowledge and senses. Now we will return back to our homes and we promise you that we will stick to the path of Dharma, they said. They all went back. Now, in the same Purana, it's a Padma Purana story only, it says that the next life, they were the ones who became Trijata's associates. You know Trijata? Trijata is our, in Ramayana, yeah, in Lanka. Trijata is actually, she was serving Sita. Along with her, many Rakshasis were there. So these are the ladies who became those Rakshasis. Now somebody may ask, they anyway didn't do any blunder, any mistake, but why they were made Rakshasis? Because of contemplating of the prospect of doing something wrong. For that itself, in the previous ages, it was so punishable. Like the Kali Yuga, it's not punishable. But that's the point. So the point is, the women were about to lose character, but who saved them? Brahman. That means let us take A and B. A is one of us, and B is a non-devotee. And now A and B are coming together, and the B is committing some mistake. Then the A should not, succumb to that mistake. Like for example, there was one initiated devotee, A initiated devotee, and the B came in his life, and the B is very innocent. The B is a woman. She's drinking, she's smoking, but she's a college-going girl, and she's not a devotee. But now A is a man who is inspiring her to come to devotional service. But in the course of his bringing her, they are becoming intimate. A and B are becoming intimate. Now she is getting some shelter from him. She's thinking that, oh, he's such a good man, he's so loving, so caring, so nice. She's getting intimate, just like she is getting intimate with some college friends. So, if A is succumbing to that, it's whose mistake, A or B? So A says that, B came forward, I didn't go, but the B is getting close to me, what can I do? So is it justified? No, that's the point. Impeccable captain, because out of the two, who is the enlightened one and who is the ignorant one? That's the point. That means the punishment will be given to whom? Yeah. Because now, later on, when B wakes up in spiritual life, B will greatly lament. Hare, this A was a cheater. When I was ignorant, A cheated me. Now I am enlightened one. Now I know that this fellow was a cheater. Correct or not? You understand? All of you understand this? So that is why character means what you are when no one is around you, it is said. And what is the right motivation in action? This is actually Shishupal. He had no right motivation. He was actually waiting for the announcement to be made regarding the Agra Puja Padavi. And Krishna's name was announced. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was about to, and Yudhishthira Maharaj worshipped Krishna also. Agra Puja was properly done, everything. Then this fellow created a mess by blaspheming Krishna. And Prabhupada says that why? Because this fellow wanted everybody to lift their sword and have a fight, and he wanted a bloodshed. Because by bloodshed, the yajna will become spoiled, inauspicious. So Yudhishthira Maharaj will not be glorified for completing the Rasu yajna. That was his wrong motivation with which he patiently waited till Krishna was worshipped. After that, he started. Because in case he spoke these things before Krishna was worshipped, and somebody else might have been chosen and Krishna would not have minded also. Then the yajna would go unharmed, successful. But this fellow, did he want the yajna to become Purnahuti completely? See, these are all evil intentions. Like Duryodhana wanted Durvasa to go to forest and eat in the place of Pandavas. You know the Rakshay Patra, right? So when he told him to go? After sunset. Why? Evil intention. Because he thought after Draupadi finishes prasad and keeps upside down, no prasad will come. Pandavas will be trembling. Durvasa's angry sage. And because I am not able to kill these Pandavas, at least this sage can kill them. Very, very evil intention. So one should be very careful not to give any instruction with such evil intention. That is a negative example. But the right motivation and action is Krishna going as a Shanti Dut on behalf of Pandavas to Kauravas. He is Supreme Lord, he knows everything. Still he is going as a Shanti Dut. He knows they are not going to listen. Still he is faithfully going with a pure motivation. He always gives chance to every jiva to grow out of limitations. आपने आचार्य केह ना करे प्रचार प्रचार करें केह ना करे ना आचार. Yeah, who can read translation, please?
Some behave very well, but do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, whereas others preach but do not behave properly.
So, and this was spoken by Sanatana Goswami to Haridas Thakur. Some people, they behave well, but they don't preach. Others preach well, but they don't behave well. So one is prachar, another one is achar. Which one is important? Both are important. Both are important. Achar and prachar. Actually, a pracharak, if he or she has a good achar, then they'll become very magnetic. Huh? Very magnetic, because many people will want to connect with them and take guidance from them and take shelter of them. And most people, if you ask them, what charmed them is the achar. And the Siddhanta comes little later for most people. Maybe for a few, Siddhanta is important, but the achar makes great difference. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat in that foot washing place and charmed the heart of Prakashanand Saraswati. Correct? No? Similarly, he charmed the heart of Sarvabhattacharya also by his very tender behavior. So, Prema Purna Vyavahar, Yukti Purna Prachar. That is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Purna Vyavahar is very loving dealings with all devotees. And Yukti Purna Prachar is, very, very intellectually satisfying kind of logical presentation of Siddhanta. You have to combine both. When Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, Gadadhar Pandit wanted to go, Mahaprabhu refused. Gadadhar insisted. Mahaprabhu said, you have taken Kshetra Sannyas. But then Gadadhar Pandit said, hell with Kshetra Sannyas. I don't care about it. You are more important for me. But the Lord said, how can you leave the Lord? Gadadhar said, you are my Lord. So wherever you go, I will be with you. That place is Vrindavan for me. But Lord Chaitanya did agree. He boarded the boat and went away. And Gadadhar fainted unconscious. Correct, no? Later on, as you all know, Kananatshala, he went to Kananatshala and he went to Ramkeli, correct, no? And he turned back and came back. He couldn't go to Vrindavan because Sanatana Goswami told him not to go, correct, no? He came back. Then Mahaprabhu met Gadadhar Pandit and said, Gadadhar, because I displeased you and made you cry, therefore Krishna didn't allow me entry into Vrindavan. Like that he spoke. You can see tender dealings of Mahaprabhu. Very, very extraordinary. So, it's always, behavior is compared to the leg. And the Siddhantic understanding is compared to eyes. One of the South Indian Acharya says this. For example, you know Siddhanta very well. But if you are lame, then you cannot move around and preach. If both legs are cut, you don't have the legs. In the same manner, you may know Siddhanta, but you call people to come and hear your lecture, people will say bye-bye, not interested. Because his behavior is not proper. So there are many angry preachers. There are very foul-mouthed speaking preachers, blasphemous preachers. People don't want to hear from them. People say that, oh, he's very critical of devotees. He's envious of devotees. Or he doesn't speak properly from the Shastra. He doesn't stick to, the Vaishnava etiquettes and the limits. And so people will not want to listen to us. One thing is, as preachers, all of us have to constantly do the homework of refining the quality of sound vibration, which comes out of our mouths. So, how to refine that? So, we have to also hear what we are speaking, whether our speech is proper. Sometimes we may subtly criticize somebody. We have to be very careful, grossly or subtly. Read this one.
Communicating clearly and openly, clarifying expectations honestly and courageously without fear.
Yeah. You see? Kamsa, Vasudev.
Vasudev agreeing to hand over children to Kamsa. And
Yeah.
Haridas Thakur facing Muslim king.
Yeah. See, these people clarified expectations and honestly and courageously without fear. Why the word courageously is used in communication? Because any of you have this experience, say you want to call devotees to kitchen to render service. And the devotees ask, Prabhu, what time to what time is service? Oh, that's just half an hour, you may say. But then it may be 2 hour service. Why you say half an hour? Somehow or other you can make them agree. And after going there, they realize 2 hours of service there. So next time, will they trust our words? Yeah, they won't trust. So what I would consider telling is, see, the service is 2 hours today, but it doesn't come to you every week. It only comes to you once a month or once in 2 months. Prabhu, we are not the only one doing service. Every week, some congregation people are committing for 2 hours service. So it's better that we also commit. It's better. Now, we teachers were sending the group to kitchen. Now we are going to change it now back to BV leaders now. BV leaders only will send. We are going to go back to square now. HTM's already we discussed because the connection with BV leader is more stronger. You know, so our honesty in expressing our expectations is very important. Courageously, without fear. Hmm. Okay, how many of you have a difficulty in saying a sweet no to somebody when you cannot do it, but you find difficulty in saying no? You have. Then I'll tell you an example. Okay, there are about 10 devotees. So when you don't say no, but you actually want to say no, it's very difficult. Like Gadadhar Pandit was like that also, very soft natured. When Vallabhacharya wanted to speak on his commentary, everybody ran away. Advaitacharya Prabhu went away, Nityan Prabhu went away, Srivas didn't hear, nobody listened. But Gadadhar Pandit was caught because he's soft natured. And Vallabhacharya was aggressive and he was soft, very good match. So aggressive people and passive people are a good match. So a pushy person, like in Pune, there was one fellow who was living in the student, this thing in the temple. I remember one devotee convinced him to give for Mridanga and he purchased a Mridanga. So I asked this boy, hey, why did you give for Mridanga? You are already giving monthly donations. What to do, Prabhuji? He pushed me, so I had to give. I can't say no. Why can't you say no? Or you should have told me, so, oh, Prabhuji, if I tell you, he will become upset with me. So I thought better give. Because of the pushy people and the passive people get along very well. Because this fellow can nicely dance on his head. You understand? No? So similarly, Gadadhar Pandit was soft natured. So naturally, Vallabhacharya was demanding too much. Making him hear. Later on, Mahaprabhu understood that. Very nice things happened after that. Mahaprabhu went to Vallabhacharya's house, taking everybody, including Gadadhar Pandit and Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Nigan Prabhu. They all take prasad also, they took there afterwards when he reformed. And then on that day, he took Yugal initiation from Gadadhar Pandit. Earlier, he was only worshipping Balakrishna. So he became like a guru for him later. Who? Gadadhar Pandit. But the point is, one thing we learn is we need to learn the art of saying sweet no. One person said sweet no very powerfully. I'll tell you who it is. When Saubhari came out of the water with all bruises in his body and being underwater, beard and skinny body of a yogi, you can imagine Jatadari. And he's coming and asking King, I have decided to marry now. So can you give me one of your 50 daughters? And King looked up and down and thought, how can I give Kanyadan of any of my daughters to this fellow? Will any daughter agree? So he knew no daughter will agree. But if I say no to the king, what will happen? If I say no to the Sabarimani, what will happen? What? You will not give? You will give a curse immediately. Correct, no? So it's like, you are between devil and deep sea. If this side you go, daughters will correct, Papa, what is this you are giving me to such an old man? If you go that side, then the sage will curse. So smart Mandata, anybody knows what he did? Yes? No. He told Saubhari, why not? You can pick up any of them who is ready to marry you. And Saubhari immediately understood. Smart fellow. Because he knows the art of saying a sweet no. Instead of saying no, and Saubhari looked in the mirror. Now I know what I look like. If I go like this, all daughters will say no. And the king will say, what can I do? They are saying no. I never told you no. Correct. No, that was. Then Saubhari was also smart. So what he did, he converted his form into a young, youthful man and wore a beautiful turban and kundal and looking like a very nice, fit for like bridegroom, ready for marriage. So as soon as I arrived, all the 50 daughters are jumping up and down. I will marry him. I will marry him. He said, don't worry, I'll marry all of you. He married all 50. So this is a story of, how they learned the art of saying a sweet no. I also learned in Pune to say a sweet no. How I'll tell you? One example. One life member was an angry life member. Whenever he would come, the life member in charge will come running to me and hide behind me. Prabhuji, aa gaya, Prabhuji, aa gaya. I would say, what is the problem? He said, Prabhuji, room is already booked. We had only one room in the camp temple. Nothing like a guest house. Prabhuji, I have to say no to him and he will shout like anything. Whenever he said no to that life member, he will do Rudra Tandav. So I told him, okay, this time you see what I do. So when he came, I said, oh, how long you want to stay? 3 days I have to stay, he said. Sir, come with me, I'll show you. So I took him to Behind the temple, we had a bamboo house. Bamboo house? It's all made of bamboos where boys stay. In that big bamboo house, in one corner, we have a room which is one quarter of this big hall. Huh? That much size we have. That's also made up of bamboo only. But no attached bathroom latrine. You can stay in the room and go to bathroom with other boys also. So when I took him into bamboo house, he looked up, looked down. This is the room you're giving me? He said, yeah, this is the room. Some life members stay here also. If you want, you can stay. He said, I will think over and come back and tell you. In 2 hours, I will tell you. Then after 2 hours, he called me and said, okay, I don't have to stay in bamboo house. I found out a place. He found outside somewhere in some lodge. So did he say no to him? No. I showed him a place, so I made him say no to himself. This is called as art of saying a sweet no without saying no. So all of us have to learn this because sometimes too many demands will come. Hmm. Like one Mataji in Pune, very senior lady. She is head of all the, garland making ladies. Huh? More than she's 25 years devotee. Huh? The congregation, one of the very, very early day, 95 congregation. So she was cultivating one donor lady who said she's going to give 1 lakh rupees for the dress. Huh? She was very happy. She went to her house. But that lady is a non-veg eater. Huh? So this Mataji went, and that lady was insisting her that you should eat at our home. Huh? So this Mataji was shocked. She said, no, I have already finished my prasad. In the morning I have finished. I'm not hungry now, she was telling. Then that lady went inside and took a knife and cut some apples and brought it in a plate. And she said, please eat this, she said. Now she was trembling again. Huh? So immediately I got an emergency call from the VIC center. Huh? Call came from the center. Roji, an urgent call has come for you. I asked, what is that? Then I ran there and to pick up the phone. She said, Rashampu, I am in a very, very great predicament. This is what she said. I come to her house, she's asking me to eat these fruits. But the knife she used for cutting fruits, she might have used for cutting non-veg. Now I am really trapped, checkmated now. I don't know what to do now. I said, very simple, I said. She said, what is it? Ask her for uncut fruits. You tell her that you will cut it and take it later. She said, brilliant. She kept it down immediately. That was all immediately. She told her, you say, now I am not hungry. You give me uncut fruits. I'll take later. Later on, when mother came to temple, she asked me, how did you quickly give answer? I said, I already do. Always I do that only. Everywhere I go, we are all prepared for it. When you go to any place. So we have to know how to say a sweet no without saying no. It's a very important quality there. And we need to know certain situations we have to clarify honestly and courageously. But there are other situations where we need to learn to say sweet no, because if you don't say a sweet no, then you're going to courageously express, see, you are eating non-veg, we are all pure, We only eat Krishna Prasad only. We don't even need onion, garlic, and you are cutting meat and eating at home. Sorry. You accept your donation, but not your food. Can we say like that? My Lord, that's not only end of donation. What all complications can happen, God knows. Huh? So therefore, you may not speak the plain truth to such people, not to hurt their sentiments. Correct, no? At the same time, we need to know how to deal with such situations, correct? So we can stop here. Another 5 minutes, I can take questions. Yes.
Prabhuji, this sweet no, is it only for outsiders that we are dealing with, or within devotee community we are expected to do that? Because it seems like you are not openly telling within the devotee community.
Yeah. Like, for example, devotee community, when you have to tell, I will tell you. Like, recently I am an early sleeper. Now, 8:30 I sleep and I get up at 2:30, or 9 to 3 I sleep. But some people stretch you till 9:30, 9:45, 10, because they are used to it. But no, I'm not used to it. I will get ulcers in the mouth and all that if I do that. So then if I don't pull out, I had gone for that program, then Mashtami program. So they told me to watch the children performing after my talk. Okay, I watched some children recited shlokas, one child sang song, I heard. I gave them prizes also. Then they said, Prabhu, One girl, she wanted to do Bharatanatyam. We wanted to watch it. She and her family, they all hear your lectures. Yeah. And I looked at the clock, it's already 9. I said, see, now it will be like cutting down on my health. So I said, now while walking, I'll keep on seeing and walking. So allow me to slowly move out, slowly. I moved and stood at the gate. Probably I watched 2 minutes or 3 minutes and I said, Hare Krishna, and pushed off. I had to go because if I sat through for another 15, 20 minutes, by the time I reach a place, it will become 10, 15, 10, 20. Some devotees may stretch us, like my Guru Maharaj was telling when I went to meet him. I said, Maharaj, you take good rest and take care of your health. Huh? And then I invited him to Pune. And Maharaj was laughing as he usually laughs with his shoulder. No, he said, Radheshyam, do you know, wherever I travel, people say, Maharaj, take rest everywhere else. Huh? Very nicely. And only when you come here, we will stretch you late night. Huh? That who says? Everybody says like this. Huh? But I want people to tell me that, Maharaj, here you take early rest. Huh? You take early rest here and then, because other places you have to say, nobody tells me, Maharaj said. This is my problem. He was telling. Because people only think that we are getting him very rarely once in few years. We can just squeeze as much as we can. Correct? So his programs, schedules and everything. This is one example I gave from my personal life. In the same manner, amongst devotees also, sometimes you may have to say sweet no for, like for example, say one temple, some devotee is calling me, please come to our temple. I don't go. Initially he called, I said, we will see. But they're pushing me too much. Then I said, see, I don't go to any temple unless the authorities call me. You are you telling me, you go and tell your authority. If they invite me, then I will come. But their authorities are not too keen to invite me. They fear that if I go there, then I'll take some people, put in pocket and go. So then I don't go there. So this is the easiest way you can escape. What do you say? Let your authorities write to me, I'll come. Finished. Matter is over now. So even while dealing with devotees, we have to be a bit shrewd and not get into complications. Like if you promise this devotee, I will come, and then you land in the temple and the authority will ask you, who invited you? Without this thing. Correct, no? That can lead to a problem. Like say, one preacher from outside is telling you that I want to come to Hyderabad and I want to give class in your program. There are some people who do that, which is not a correct behavior. They should not push you. So what you can say? Oh, thank you. Please give me your number. We'll get back to you. And you may never get back. The companies also do that. We will get back to you. That means we are not going to get back to you. Correct, no? We don't have to. There was one fellow who was pushing me very much in Pune. Radheshyam ji, एक हफ्ते का भागवत क्लास अरेंज कीजिए, मैं पूरा स्पॉन्सरशिप मैं लाऊंगा, और मंदिर में 500 लोग आ जाएंगे मेरे कथा श्रवण करने के लिए. आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, सिर्फ एक जगह दीजिए, हॉल दीजिए. आपका मंदिर बहुत प्रसिद्ध है, उधर आयोजन करते हैं तो सब लोग आ जाएंगे. मैं पूरा पैसा का खर्चा हमारी ओर से. Then what I did, I called that his guru. Guru said he is not rightly situated. He's a brahmachari, but he wears dressed like a sannyasi. And then he is not of very good character. Don't invite him, he said. We are telling him to just be here and become more reformed. Then can I call him and tell him, your Guruji is saying like that? He'll be shattered. Then I told him, already we had this program, that program, bhavishya mein yaad rakhenge. You just postpone, then you forget. That's all. Sometimes we have to do that. So we should know when to speak courageously and openly and frankly, and when to take another route, correct, no? With different people. Therefore, we cannot be very, very naive also. Like, somebody is unqualified, but they want to do that. Like somebody want to sing, So, but that they cannot sing well. They don't have proper tala. They don't have this thing. You can give them another service. Can you please do puja for Tulasi instead of singing? Somebody else is already fixed. We may say that. So, sometimes we may have to tell openly also sometimes. If they are very, very pushy, we may have to tell openly, but politely. You have to tell. Yeah. In Pune, one time, one Vrindavan Guru came. One Mataji arranged a program. One counseling. But then she called all the counselees except the counselor, Mataji. Can you imagine? She called her 40 ladies by phone. One by one, she called to her house, except her. And all these 40 ladies belong to one counselor. So, fortunately, what happened was one of the ladies out of the 40 called the counselor and said, Mataji, can I go for this program? She is calling. Some Vrindavan Baba, somebody's coming. She's doing in her house. Counselor lady said, what? Nobody told me about this. Then she called a few ladies. They said, today evening they have a program. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All of us are called. We were all going, they said. And then that counselor called me and asked, Prabhuji, this is a strange thing. She never told me. She's telling everybody else. Then I said, Mataji, some people have their family connection to some gurus in Vrindavan. So you can tell her, you can do a program in your house for your family members and the neighborhood people if you want. But you cannot call any counselee, to this program, because ISKCON, we have a proper Guru Parampara, we are following this, And so when she called that counsel lady said, Mataji, यही भी कृष्ण लीला ही बोलने वाले हैं. She was a very new lady. ISKCON में जो बोलते हैं ऐसे ही कृष्ण लीला बताएंगे. साथ साथ ही ब्रजवासी हैं. वृंदावन से आए हैं. बहुत मधुर भाषा में बोलेंगे. आप भी आ सकते हैं. लेकिन मैं आपको नहीं बुलाया क्योंकि मुझे मालूम था कि आपको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. इसलिए आपको छोड़कर सबको बुलाया. And this Mataji told, Mataji asked me, Prabhuji, can I say that Radheshyam Prabhu said? I said, please don't take my name. You can use my name last like Brahmastra. Till then, don't use it. If she is very much adamant, then only you can use my name. I said, you tell from your side only. She said, we are in proper Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. We don't want to call anybody else and all. People want to go to Vrindavan, meet somebody they can meet, but you cannot organize program for them. Somebody. She told, finally she agreed. Then they canceled the program. So these are like Dharma Sankat situations sometimes. Recently, when Mayavadi was brought by somebody and said, he wants to arrange the katha in NVCC temple. Of course, audience will be his audience in our guest house. But he wanted us to give the temple guest house for that festival and put the hoarding and everything. Absolute no, we told her. Later on, I took it to ICC level meeting. Everybody said the same thing. We cannot promote Mayavadis in our temple campus. It goes against our fiber. Plain no. There we have to courageously say no. No question, even at the cost of becoming misunderstood. In Ahmednagar, we have a hall, almost double size this hall we have. Art of Living people came and they said, we want to hold a program. We will pay for the hall. Can you give it? And they were very happy devotees. They said, oh, they are ready to pay 25,000. They are ready to pay. Just for one program, evening program. They said, Prabhuji, this will be good for our donation also, for us, and they are asking only in a weekday. I said, no, you cannot give. They asked me, why? What's the problem? I said, if you are giving your hall, then you are authorizing them to be a proper movement. Correct, no? So it's not proper. So they let them take any other hall, pay somewhere out. We don't want other Brahma Kumari. Once Brahma Kumari also wanted our temple hall there. We told no. They have a different philosophy, we have a different philosophy. We cannot keep that. Now they did somewhere else. Now they have started a temple which is just about half a kilometer from our temple there in Nagar. Imagine if we allowed them, many people will think that we can go to ISKCON, we can go there also. Because ISKCON allowed the program, that means it is. This is the problem. They will think it is authorized. So I told a very, very plain no to them for this. So certain things you have to, crystal clear, you have to say no. And certain things you can say a sweet no and evade them. According to Desh Kal, Patra, time, place, circumstance. So we can conclude for today. And then we will continue the next slate. I'll tell you the date for next time.